Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another analysis video. On the agenda tonight we have Nuno Bettencourt, and I was asked to do a video on Nuno just to have a little look at his playing. I have been to see Extreme live, so I've seen the playing in the flesh, so to speak. But yeah, we'll have a little look at this video because I'm going to raise an interesting point, or at least I think is interesting, that kind of compares technical ability with songwriting and how things tend to work out there in the music industry. But we're going to have a little look at this video. It should just catch on just before he's about to start his solo section. So what happens is there's always a little kind of show-off piece at the gigs with Extreme, and it happens with loads of kind of 80s bands where the guitarist comes on and shows off a bit. Interestingly, when Nuno does do this, there's a click track that starts up. And this happens on every time that I've seen it. So I don't know whether this is just to show how fast he's playing or whether it's to help him keep the timing exactly right because it's so technical, to keep all the spacings exactly the same. Because of course this is how you practice in order to build up your speed. You have a metronome going. So I don't know whether it's a little bit of a comfort thing or whether it's just kind of seeing, you know, showing how fast he's actually playing. But anyway, let's get on with this solo and have a little listen. So straight away you can tell that Nuno can play. I made this comment about Stevie Ray Vaughan as well, just saying this guy can play or he knows his stuff, and then somebody said, oh, how dare you, Stevie Ray Vaughan's one of the best players ever. And I was being sarcastic. It's obvious that he can play and he knows what he's doing. And same with Nuno here, really technically amazing. He's obviously sat down for a really long time just to build up the speed of these little lines that he's playing. So yeah, really impressive stuff so far. We'll watch a little bit more. And it just continues in that same vein. And there's always going to be an argument for, is it emotionful? Is it emoting anything? Is it just too fast and just the same thing over and over again, but just changing notes? It's very difficult. It just depends what you're into, really. As a guitarist myself and a guitar teacher, I can appreciate the technical difficulty of doing something like this and how much discipline it would take to learn it up to this tempo. So yeah, it's taken a lot of discipline. In terms of its musical merits, there's some really nice melody going on as well, which has got for it. But I know a lot of people that after kind of 20 or 30 seconds, they kind of get bored of the same thing. They want to hear some vibrato and some other kind of techniques coming in. But Nuno is kind of one of those players that he's got this in his locker to be able to play this really top speed technical style of playing. Now, interestingly, what I also wanted to bring up, I mean, you can watch this video. I'll put the link in the description below if you want to watch the whole solo. But I just wanted to bring up that the people that aren't into the fast playing, everyone will know that Extreme's biggest hit is More Than Words, where there's no shredding or anything going on. It's just purely melody driven. So this goes to prove that Nuno does know about melody. He can write, and he can compose a song that's going to do really well on the radio and, you know, be one of the big hits. But he's also got this in his locker as well. And I think a lot of people will only know the More Than Words song. They go, oh yeah, I know that song. But they don't know that he can do all this kind of live, you know, under the pressure of the lights. He's kind of nailing everything. So he's a really amazing player, especially seen as I think a lot of people don't realize that this is the guy that did the More Than Words. You've got to kind of look into it a lot, whereas a lot of people just hear that song on the radio and just know it, but don't necessarily know what Extreme were like as a band, that all of their other songs are, you know, a little bit more hard rock and heavy, and Nuno's got this amazing ability at guitar. But yeah, it's interesting to look at this. You can watch the whole video if you want, but then this is the whole debate about technical playing ability and then writing songs. Songs is by far the hardest thing to be able to write consistently so that you always have a hit, whereas pretty much anyone can learn to play the guitar fast. It just depends how much discipline you have, really, and how much free time. Like if you've got 4 to 6 hours a day to practice, then yeah, you can really increase your speed quite quickly if you're disciplined with it. But anyway, I hope you like this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys at the next one.